Hi, this is Eric,
Hi, this is LDH.
and this is DevBlog Deep Dive number 37. To start off, the first part of the DevBlog is showing a really cool animation they have. The purpose of this animation is just to really highlight the game and some of the visual elements of it. They do put that on some new content we're going to talk to you about very soon. But you can see some just really neat visual examples of someone walking along, making some armor, cracking some eggs, making some pets come out of eggs. And I just think it's a really cool way to catch people who are new to the game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fantastic. And as always, right? I can't help myself but to be a little bit curious why these specific locations were a part of the animation, right? So we've got Gale Forge slipped in there just after the old arena ruins. And then a whole nother land over, which is Airwithian or something like that. And so I'm just wondering, why are these locations the things that are showcased, you know? So I don't know if that's a very secretive or subtle way of kind of saying like, okay, maybe after Syrenthia, like these are the very next locations to kind of, I don't know. So I'm excited nonetheless. It just looks so good.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm really excited for when we finally go to those other lands. But for now, it's neat to see the little checkerboard icon character walking along.
Between June 1st and June 15th, people have the opportunity to sign up for the closed beta so that they can begin playing on July 1st.
I think that Shampoo's just being very empathetic about that, and he wants to let people in, which is, I think, just fantastic. I love it when fresh blood comes into the game. New people, new personalities. Because I can definitely say that on Discord right now, it looks like a lot of the same similar people. Because, I would say when people join a game, they're new and they're asking questions, but if new people aren't allowed in, then there's not all that new exciting chatter. So it's going to be really fun to have fresh new people here. And for anyone who's watching, who will be joining us from June onward, we're really excited to have you. And please enjoy yourself on the Discord in the meantime, or Reddit, or however you enjoy the game.
So what this means is for you and everyone that you love, have people go to Buy Me a Coffee or on Patreon to support the devs, because that's your window of opportunity right there. If you want to play and you want to play with your loved ones, this is how you can do it.
Okay, so the next part of the DevBlog is showing off the new website. We talked about it last in some in the last deep dive, but now we are actually at the point where they've updated it and made it look just absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. So the first part is that animation we talked about. It has an actual purpose. It's there to entice people and show them what the game is about, and it looks just so good, especially in the context of all the visuals here. It looks so good.
Yeah, and even just above that, my favorite aspect is that they lead with that parallax effect. I know I talked about it on our last deep dive, but oh man, that's like a premium feature of a website to me. I don't know, I can't get enough of that.
Yeah. I'm playing with it right now. All right. Okay, and then here's something big that will be amazing for everyone. It will, I suppose, it will always show the next start date of the next wave. So the next wave is the 1st of June to the 15th of June, which is great because people who are checking out this game are often like, how do I get in? How do I support? And now it's actually right there. So people who find out about this game for the first time, go to the website, they actually have clear information, which is so good and so helpful. The next part of the website is showing stats for different things. There's talking about total steps, 1.5 billion. That's pretty crazy.
Yes, it is.
Then it moves on to news, which is, again, DevBlog. So like DevBlog 7's what we're talking about right now. It's right there.
We seem to like those quite a bit.
We seem to like DevBlogs. We do. We do indeed. And then, hey, if I'm brand new to the game and I want to know what WalkScape is, what is WalkScape? And here we have little key features for new people who are checking out the game. Talks about the different skills you can get. It talks about how you perform in the game by walking. This website is being developed by my Zozaz, the first developer that they've hired. And he's just doing a fantastic job. So my Zozaz, well done, my friend.
I can't imagine how much work this took in such a short amount of time. I mean, to build a website from scratch like this and have it look this good, I mean, well done.
Absolutely. And I'm absolutely sure Max Chill must have had to have a hand in this, because a lot of the visuals here are just gorgeous.
Next on the dev blog is the new roadmap for future developments, as well as the past developments are included as well. You can find this on the new website in the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner. It's the very last icon there, and it shows some juicy stuff in store here. First, we see Syrenthia update. It's going to be June through July here in the summer, and then they're expecting August to September. It's going to be some major quality of life improvements, so that's really exciting to see as well.
I can't understate how big of a project it is to develop their own pedometer tracking in the app. Basically what they're doing is they're developing two functional apps at once. Just having their own functional pedometer that's tracking your steps accurately, reliably, and fairly, that's like a whole project in and of itself. On top of that, adding a meaningful, in-depth, fantastic MMO that we're all here for and we're all excited for, that's a whole other project. So I know it's been frustrating to be held up on the game stuff, but if we don't have proper pedometer, then this game won't be able to reward you the way we need it to. We're going to be linking to this DevBlog 37 in the description. And so if you are having any issues, please read the DevBlog. There's multitudes of options for which you can check your settings to see if you have the optimal settings for your steps to be tracked. In the future, once they have more progress with the steps, hopefully it won't require so much tweaking. But at the moment, you know, if you are finding yourself missing steps that you should have, go through those steps, read through them, and see how it is. Okay, LDH, the next part of the DevBlog is more fun visuals. Here we are. We're in Syrenthia. We're underwater.
I see a bank. I see a huge vault, right? I mean, I don't know if Syrinthians are just giants or what, but I'm really, really excited to see this bank and an eel or something that's either waiting in line or that's just like a rug piece. But either way, it's amazing decor, lots of imagination here, really vibrant color palette, and love the animation of the little bubbles. I would kind of like to see plant life kind of wave and kind of move.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, in unison or something.
That's a lot. That's a lot of pixel art animation.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure. I'm not trying to add extra work. Max Chill's already doing more than enough, but
Max Chill has said that he's the kind of guy where if you give him a challenge, he will hold up to it. So,
well,
maybe you will see waving pixel art seaweed in the future. No, but this is gorgeous. I like the bank. I like the oversized coin vault. This little snake is funny. It kind of makes me feel like it's like the queue. It's going to the bank.
I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah. So it's really fun. So anyways, I really like the stuff we're seeing from Syrenthia. I think it kind of gives you this immersive feel, which is really fun.
I'm wondering if covertly they are having Ewerthian be Syrenthia. It's the very next land to the east of GDTE. And it seems a very similar color palette. You notice how the capital of Ewerthian is in a bubble?
Okay.
Like Atlantis.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then so is this little skull and stuff. And then there's like a shore and everything.
I see what you're saying.
However, there are docks and beaches, and it even shows a sailboat like above water on its coast. So
and how far away is that map region from where we are right now?
The next region over from GDT.
Oh, no kidding. So if you hopped on a boat, like you could potentially be there.
Yes, directly to the east.
Well, that's fun. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I do see the dome and the aquatics and all that, and it is relatively close to GDE. And it would be really cool if like we can hop on a boat and go across the water. I wonder how that would work with steps. Like we're like in a rowboat and we have to like rowboat across the water. I don't know.
Right. One of the most exciting updates to come is buffs and consumables, which will also be released during the Syrenthia update.
So here they have little icons, little pictures, and they say that these icons are going to represent some of the buffs that are coming from consumables, which will be food. So for example, cooking up a fish may give you a consumable. So that would be a buff. In the past, I've talked about how consumables would likely start with like XP boosts for a certain amount of steps. And they described the way consumables are going to work, which is really cool. So say, for example, you're going to start mining and you're going to mine some coal. So you go to your mining spot, you're ready to go to your coal. Before you start activity, you can pick a particular food that you will continuously be consuming at whatever increments you need to for as long as you're mining or for as long as you run out of that food. So the idea behind that is you don't accidentally run consumables when you're not intending to. Because the only way to start a consumable is going to be when you go to a new area, selecting the consumable that you want. Because the last thing you want is to run through a bunch of your consumables accidentally.
That's right. And then if you stop an activity prematurely before your consumables are done, you don't lose what's left over.
And it's a great system because I've played other idle games that have buffs, and there's often this issue of you lose efficiency or you lose some of that if you do the wrong thing at the wrong time while your buffs are active. And I honestly think a lot of other games would do well to follow the lead of how they're handling it.
Another consumable will be potions, which also reveals a new skill of alchemy, which is very exciting. And it's limiting to only having a buff with alchemy and consumables. And that brings my mind directly to Skyrim, where your alchemy can boost your enchantment and your enchantments can boost your alchemy. And you could have this vicious cycle that infinitely overpowers your character. So I can definitely understand why they would want to limit the amount of ways that you can buff your character.
Yeah, because I think what they said is you're only allowed to have one food and one alchemy buff at a time. Which again is cool because you have to pick or choose. Because I've played other games where you can buff yourself up with food or with potions or stuff. And there's a lot of stacking going on, like you mentioned in Skyrim. And so in this situation, you're literally going to have to pick or choose. Let's say there's a food that gives you an XP boost, or there's a food that gives you like a chance to do double actions, for example. You would have to pick and choose which one is your priority. Do you want more goods or do you want more XP? I don't know if that will be what will come from food. I don't know if double action will. That'd be pretty powerful. But there are going to be times where you have to make choices. And you might have to make choices between your alchemy buff and your food buff so that they complement each other. Like how cool would it be if I got my XP boost from food and my double action from alchemy and they kind of like compound together. So that's a really good system. I like that a lot.
Even just with one update, this brings a lot of complexity to the game, which I'm very excited about. Along with consumables and buffs being introduced with the Syrenthia update, we have abilities. Tell us how this works here, Eric.
Sure. So I'm going to show you an example of an item that provides an ability. This is a legendary item called Ring of Homesickness. I am pretty sure it's going to come as an achievement reward, especially since it talks about 3 of 5 achievement points right above it. They have mentioned that they want some of the achievement rewards to be functional and that they actually do things for you. I don't think they want to make them efficiency focused. I think like in terms of adding an efficiency boost to a skill, they actually want to make them do something. So they've put up this Ring of Homesickness and people are already like making RuneScape memes about it. Like they're saying, oh, it's a lumberage. It's a teleport to lumberage ring. Okay, well, maybe not lumberage, but maybe Kalaheim. Who knows? Which I think is cool. And especially in the future, if we have to go on long treks to perilous mountains and other regions, it would be nice to be able to teleport back. So maybe that's what it will do. That would be pretty cool. Do you have any guesses on what this ring does?
Yeah, I think you're right. And if we go back to Max Chill's animation, the item all the way to the right that is unlocked out of the chest is a different kind of ring. So this won't be the only ability ring, I think, in the game. So
I wanted to talk about the fact that it's a reward from achievements. Anything that gives value to achievements, that make their achievement rewards actually function, is so good. Because adding achievements is a huge way to add longevity to a game. Especially if there are really amazing rewards at the higher tiers of the achievements. Because it's going to make you go out and grind these crazy things that you just wouldn't grind otherwise. Because you're basically getting achievement experience in the form of points for doing those things. You're going to go after collectives, because collectibles give you achievement points. I really hope they keep adding cool and unique rewards to achievements, because it makes achievements really meaningful.
And these abilities have a cooldown timer after you use it. So if it does teleport you to Kalaheim, then it either will require a certain amount of steps before you can use it again, or uses real world time.
So the next section on the DevBlog is talking about statistics from the game. They started just after Wave 2, they started tracking lots of steps. And some of them are really amazing. So one statistic that I think is fantastic is that collectively we have all done 1.5 billion steps as testers. So congratulations to everyone.
Yeah, and Flower Sifter can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but I did the math, and that is walking to the moon and back is 1.5.
Really?
Well, it's under that. Yeah. So
cool.
We've actually done a little more than that, but you can walk to the moon and back with that many steps. So collectively,
we did it,
we've done
guys.
it.
Okay,
we landed on the moon.
We're gonna have to get to Mars next. We have to figure out how many steps it is to get to Mars, and then I think if we do that,
achievement that says that.
Yeah, I think if we did that, or like an achievement that we all get when we all get enough steps. Wouldn't that be cool?
Right.
If there were game-wide achievements? That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Or even just like in-game events or something that's hosted to be like, once we hit this benchmark, it's going to be a server-wide like celebration that collectively we have walked to this next planet.
So here we see 1.5 billion steps. Pretty fantastic. Most stepped activities are iron ore at 66 million, litter looting at 53, coal at 52 million. See, that's not surprising. We're going to need a lot of coal in this game. And then oak tree, okay? And then similar, we have some other ones. And then we have some of the rarest items like candle hat. It shows some of the other ones. Rarest stuff from activities, rabbit's foot. And then some of the rarest collectibles. So there's some collectibles that are only like 30 people that have them. One thing that's interesting about collectibles is once you have one, you can't get it again. So I think there would be more collectibles in the game if you could keep dropping them by doing a certain activity. So for example, I do a lot of spelunking, so I have my ancient ink from that. But I've done enough steps to get multiples of them. So really it's just telling you how many people have found it, which I think is a cool stat. And then the rarest recipe, which is basic fishing rod. That's interesting. And then, these are the different chests that have dropped, which is neat because it actually shows us kind of which skills have been done the most. So I guess mining's been done the most, followed by woodcutting, then agility, then carpentry, and the whole list goes down. So that's pretty cool.
So until next time, we have Shampoo signing off here and also talking about how he's pivoting his development to only new features, which is very, very exciting. So instead of having to deal with the pedometer anymore, unless there's some critical problem happening, it's just new content.
So again, a huge thank you to the team who's working so hard on all these updates, fixing things up. We really appreciate you. We're really enjoying all this. Thank you for the DevBlog. Thank you for taking the time to detail to us all these things that you have coming. As players, I know we are excitedly waiting for the next DevBlog to come out. So thank you just for sharing that with us. And we're with you. We're here and we support you. Thank you for taking the time to be with us as well as we do this DevBlog deep dive. We do these every 2 weeks that we record on the day the DevBlog releases. And we release the day after on the Friday. For those of you that enjoy this deep dive, and we just want to thank you for spending time with us today.